and welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to start the static routing. Since we have discussed the many basic point about the routing as administrative distance, matrix, and the IP routing introductions, and also we have seen the demo topologies as well. So now let's see the routing in the same demo part, that how exactly it's going to take place. So first of all, we need to understand a scenario here, as once you configure your routers and your routers here, and the IP addresses are also configured, later on when you consider one of the PC as a source, let's say this I am going to consider as a source and this I am going to consider as a destinations. So if you consider this as a source and this as a destination, of course, if you try to communicate these together, the communications not possible by default. Because if you see, this both are into the different network itself. Like this is into 1.0 network and this is into 2.0 network. If I go to this PC0 and say that, hey, ping 192.168 2 dot, let's say 3, if I ping this, it will drop the request. There is no by default communication here. Why? Because right now this wants to communicate with different network which is indirectly connected in some of the different routers. Okay, so make sure if you go ahead and define this particular ping here, the communication is not possible. So in this case, what you need to go ahead and do that, of course you need to go ahead and configure the routing here. Make sure that's where you basically need the routing. Okay, in this you can go ahead and configure the static routing. Of course, yes, you can have the communications. You can also have the dynamic routing as well. It's completely in your hand. Anyone can be used to communicate here. So first of all, we will see the static routing, and later on we will talk about dynamic routing and how to configure the dynamic routing as well. We will see that. So let's move ahead and see one of the quick things here. So first of all, this is my scenario. Yes, I took the example for this. If I go ahead and try ping to 2.3 here, of course, it will drop the request. Just check it out. Go to command prompt and just type ping to 192.168.2.3. This is what my destination IP address I have considered. If you go ahead and hit the enter, of course, see that destination host unreachable, communication not possible. So we need to have the communications now. Of course, yes, that's where you will go ahead and make use of your static or maybe dynamic routing. So the very first thing which we are going to discuss here is the static routing itself. Let's get started. So what exactly is static routing, how it works? See this. So the very first point to understand, basically static routing is not the routing protocol. That's the very basic point. It is not at all a routing protocol. It is the manually configuration and route selection itself. It's all about, it is not the routing protocol actually. This is manually configured routes into the routing table by the administrator. Why? Because in static route, we are going to define all the indirectly connected networks into your routers. So that's where your static routing is more accurate than the dynamic routing protocol itself. Because administrator is already aware of the destination network, and administrator only going to configure the static routing manually in the routing part itself. So make sure static routing is not the routing protocol. It is manually configured routes into the routing protocols. Okay, routing tables. Now see, couple of more points. As we discussed, in static routing, each and every path manually provided to the routers, of course, by the administrator, so that it is very fast because it knows all the destination information into the routing table by default. It's very fast. Make sure, this is very important and common point. Administrators should know the destination IP addresses network for the configurations. So for example, if you are the administrator, you must know the destination network, then only you can configure the static routing. It is important. and static routing has the administrative distance of 1. We have already discussed what is administrative distance and how it works. So just to summarize the same, if you see here a very basic point, administrative distance, basically as we discussed, administrative distance defines the reliability of your routing information or routing protocol, and the range is 0 to 255. As we discussed the common point, lesser the administrative distance and higher the priority, as we have already discussed. Now, how exactly you can go ahead and configure the static routing? Say this. To configure static routing, of course, yes, you are going to follow couple of syntax. So this is the very first point. See, right now you are in which mode? You see here, this is your router and you are into the router's configuration mode. In configuration mode, you need to define a syntax as IP route. This is basically the syntax to configure the static routing. You need to define IP route, then destination network ID. Say for example, in this scenario, this is my source and this is my destination, correct? So destination network ID will be this one. This will be your destination network ID. So say this. So destination network ID is all about 192.168.2.0 network ID you need to put up, and then destination subnet mask is all about your subnet mask which is available with the destinations. This is my subnet mask, and then you need to configure next hop IP address, or you can define exit interface. Next hop IP address, in the sense it is basically talking about next router IP address, or you can say the neighbor IP address. Exit interface, in the sense your self exit interface. So anyone you need to configure. You can configure next hop IP address. You can also configure exit interface. Most of the time this is preferable, next hop IP addresses. Most of the time. We will see that both the method you can configure, any one you have to use. Now, once you have configured this, of course, you need to configure this vice versa. Like router 1 is aware that how to reach this router 2. That's great. You need to configure router 2 should be able to reach your router 1. In this router also you need to configure it. So make sure static routing you need to configure in the both the direction in both the routers, then only communications possible. How to verify the static route? This is the command. Show IP route. Once you verify show IP routes into the routing table, you will be able to see the complete information into the routing table which is added by the static routing itself. So this is how you can configure the static route into the routers. We will see that how exactly you can go ahead and do that. We will see the static routing advantage and disadvantage as well later on. Not now, I will discuss later on. Also, you need to understand the configuration for this, which I will discuss after this lecture in the next one. Thanks everyone. See you in the next lecture.